Hi, I'm Ashley Adamson. Welcome to the channel. So I've got a lot of thoughts swirling through my head, and I'm going to cover a lot of these topics, and there's probably more in there than meets the eye, but we'll just start with whatever needs to be spoken about. So I was walking back from the brunch that I had today, and the first thought that I had on the way back was, I feel like people don't understand the power of focus and attention and why that's so important. You have this constant need to get more stimulation that the phone provides, and this has been further amplified by like TikTok and shorts and these short-term reward systems that are programmed into the software that is designed to keep you engaged. And all social media is designed in this way, right? YouTube is designed in this way as well. It's just designed with much longer form content in mind, and this is why I think YouTube is the best social media platform, because it can provide so much more learning and education experiences. But like, it also has shorts, and TikTok also has, it's all shorts, right? And so like, I guess like the thing that kind of came to me was thinking about younger people and people who have not consciously engaged with these social platforms, which is most people. This is going to cost so much money to you, not just because you're spending your time here, but also because you're shortening those feedback cycles that your brain is looking for to feel like it is doing something productive or getting these dopamine rewards. You think of like how dopamine exists in our system today, and like why we evolved to have dopamine, and how variable reward systems were a good adaptation at an earlier stage, where going out hunting for food was like a risky behavior. It was unlikely to be successful, but those rare instances where it would be successful, you would have a huge payday, and there would be a lot of dopamine as well as food for everyone else. And so we have these programs and these systems that are now designed to feed off of this more primal behavior in our brain and in our mind that are now programmed into digital systems that can be spread like viruses all across the world, and then embedded within the slim piece, a tablet, stone, whatever you want to call it, the actual phone that holds all of this inside of it. And it's there trying to get your attention, binging and buzzing, and giving you this faux sense of reality that you are engaged with your tribe and that you're connected with the community. And so it's like touching and grasping into all of these parts of our more primal systems. And it's kind of deceptive because it's not really true. And the programmed variable reward systems and addictive behaviors just doesn't really it doesn't actually provide a long-term reward. And so I kind of want to get to this. So that's kind of the first point, which is like, remember that your intention is super, super valuable, and that what you spend your attention on is going to be your investment that pays off or doesn't pay off. You know, if you're always kind of chasing this thing that you want stimulated, like think of all the times where you were just scrolling on your phone and you just found yourself scrolling. What could you have done with that time, or what were you teaching your brain by doing that? I don't mind, and I don't want to guilt trip anyone for spending time just scrolling and having a good time. I do that myself. Sometimes we need that time. However, like, you have to be mindful with how you're spending this time and how you're engaging. And for me, I go, do I have energy to actually invest my time into learning something, into developing a new skill that's going to set me up longer term? Or do I just not have enough energy? And what's my framing for the situation? Do I just want to get something that's going to make me feel just good, or feel like I can escape, or just relieve some of this mental stress that I'm working through? And it's a fine line sometimes, because you have to push yourself. Like, learning programming for me has been a challenge, because I feel like I'm just like bumping up against a wall that I just can't press, and I press really, really hard, and I make an inch or like a centimeter, and it doesn't feel like a lot, and sometimes I feel kind of like that I'm not accomplishing a lot. But I know that sticking to these kinds of things, it's really going to pay off. I've done this in my past, becoming like a DJ and then like a producer, an engineering producer. I've learned this from starting a design company that I grew on my own, sleeping on couches and then building it into a legitimate business. And I've seen this working on startups in Silicon Valley and San Francisco for the past decade. So like I know that the intention, focus, and time is really going to create a lot of value. And I think this is the second part, which is like setting up your career, setting up your personal life, setting up how much money you're going to make and how much wealth you're going to be able to accumulate so that you can take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and contribute back, hopefully, give back to the community. So this is the second part, which is a framing that I think is like a warrior business framing. This idea of like, how deep do you cut into the business value? If you think of like any business, its goal is to make money. And that's just because we all need to make money. Like a goal of a person is to make money. And so the goal of a business, I don't know if the goal of a person is to make money. The goal of a person is to enjoy life and to be happy. That's how I think. And to feel connected, to love, to feel a relationship with other people that they love, like family or like loved ones. And this is like a caveat, right? Like, let's remember like why life matters and to have maybe a higher purpose, to have a higher calling. For me, like part of this is my work for that. But our goal is also to exist, like we exist, right? You exist. You have a survival mechanism deep in you that's like, I need to survive, and you follow that, right? So like, to survive in this world, we need to make money. And so the goal of a person is to use business as a part of their survival and also hopefully thrival to like enjoy life and to build that. So a goal of a business, sorry about the caveat, the goal of a business is to make money. That is the core. Like if you have that as like the center point. So then when you think about your work, how much money that you make and what you do, what you're hired for or what you get the value, what you get back in terms of financial reward is how close you cut to this inner core. Like there's layers and layers around a business that just makes it larger and larger. You get like higher up in the stack of a business, let's say 400, 500 person company, you have enough employees now that you need to have HR, you have to have people that manage the employees, right? But when you're like a small business where you're just like 5 people, when I had a 5-person business, I was like the person that managed the business. I was the one that paid for the health insurance, that paid for employees' payments, did the taxes for the business, talked to clients, managed projects, managed the designers, all of that. It's like I am multiple layers of that business. And so when you think about, all right, what's this person's role? I cut very deeply into the core of that business because my role is to actually make the entire thing grow in terms of money, cutting deep into the core. Now that I'm a product designer at a larger software company, I'm like much higher in the stack. I create things that then cut into the core of the business because I work on the product. But like there's deeper layers to that run the business, that create more value for the business and then get more money. So the reason why I kind of mention this is because your focus and your attention, that cuts into the stack of the value of the business. And the deeper you cut, the more value you create. And it takes a lot of focus and attention to create things that have deep cuts of value. And so this is the framing. It's like thinking about your focus, thinking about your attention can create deep cuts of value, and not just in a business sense, right? Like think about your life. If you are just constantly moving around with a short attention span, you don't have time to call that loved one that you should talk to and see how they're doing, make decisions that are like changing your diet or like creating a new workout plan and sticking to it, right? Like how many things do you know would be good for you to do, meditating, but you don't do it because you forget to, or you don't have time, or you don't want to make time, or every time you think about it, you're tired and you don't want to do it. This is it. This is kind of like how what we've just all talked about comes together. The time you spend with things, it affects your brain. And the way that it affects your brain, it affects your decision structure and how you perceive what you're going to do. your engagement with social media and technology is going to heavily affect that now. It's kind of like the biggest problem that we have, I think, in terms of like mental health, is the social media related stuff. And then as far as like business and making money, which is core to it's a core value that we need to hold, right, to exist in this society. It's like, how do you shape your attention with skills and things that you learn that can also help create value in your business life? And then I guess the third object would be your personal life. How does that also affect your personal life and also your business life? Like, I won't date someone that doesn't have attention, that doesn't have their personal life kind of like intertwined with their ability to pay attention to what matters, and then also with their business life. I won't date you if you have money problems, if you can't figure out how to make money in the society. It's like a basic fundamental need that I believe you need to have, is how to figure out how to exist. If you can't figure out how to exist here, then I can't help you. Like, that's a lower level function that I've worked very hard to get through, and I don't really want to be doing that on my own. I would like to help other people on a platform level, but in my personal life, that's not where I'm at, right? So it's like, the way I kind of see this, it's these three kind of core values that kind of make up, I don't know, the wholeness of your life. I feel like I may have said some things in here, but does that make sense? Can you think about, like, if I'm to summarize this into like the most simple terms, it's like, think about your focus, think about your attention, how it affects your mind, your brain, your body, and your physical health. Think about how that affects your perception of how you take care of your personal life, and also think about how that helps you or stops you from cutting deep into your business, financial life. If your attention is everywhere all the time, then there's one of two things are happening. Mostly, you're probably going to be working a job that doesn't create a lot of value because you can't create a lot of deep cuts, or you are actually running the business. And when you're running the business, all of those things that have you everywhere all feeds into feeding the core of that. So maybe I should start like a trans entrepreneurship course or something like that, because I'd really love to do that, really help all of y'all figure out how to make money in businesses. But that's another day. I'm sorry there's so much in here. I'm just trying to process all my thoughts. I haven't made a video in a long time, and I thought I would make one now. Thank you for watching this. Even if you're not interested, but you just are here to hear me, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. By the way, if you want to receive coaching from me, I have now opened up coaching. So I have a link on my YouTube channel. I think it's just Intro Coach with Me or something like that. If you'd like to go to my website, you can find the button to see more if you'd like to do that. And thank you to my supporters who are supporting me. Thank you so much for buying me a cup of tea and just leaving me some comments on my private videos. Thank you for being a part of that. So you know the episode soon. Thank you. Bye.